right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for this impactful event. My name is Jeanguenat, and I'm the Vice President of the Equipment Segment for the American Rental Association. We're extremely grateful to Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers and Scott McGregor for hosting us here today. ARA is really proud of the work that we've been doing over the last year to prepare for this important initiative, and I'm honored to present to you today a great lineup of speakers to give you all a holistic view as an industry of how we're combating equipment theft. To kick us off, I want to introduce Sean Williams, President at First Place Rental in Oswego, Illinois, and also the President of ARA of Illinois. Sean?
Right, Sean. Thank you, John, and thank you all for being here. Your attendance means that you are committed to being proactive about equipment theft and helping your fellow rental operators do the same. Every year, about $100 million worth of equipment is stolen. The majority of those instances are theft by conversion. Theft by conversion, as operators here know, is something that makes the rental industry unique and can present many challenges. Thieves, in most cases, aren't coming into our yards and breaking into our stores. They're brazen. They're coming into our stores posing as legitimate customers and really have no intention of using the equipment, but just selling it right away. I just want to take a quick moment here and share a story that I actually have. So last year, we had a customer call in, pretty standard procedure. They called in the morning on a Friday morning, reserved a mini skid steer, came in person to pick up said unit, and everything was legit. It checked out. They said they were using it right in the next town over. Fast forward to Monday morning, about 8 o'clock in the morning, I received a phone call from the Indiana State Police that one of our trailers was just sitting in the middle of a country road about 2.5 hours from our store. So I hopped on the GPS really quick to see where the unit was, and of course the unit was down in Carmel, Indiana, what looked to be in someone's backyard, but it was still pinging. So we contacted the Carmel police, and thankfully they worked with us right away. They went out, inspected the site, and sure enough, it was actually a contractor using the equipment on the site, not the contractor that we rented it to. So, long story short, on Saturday, they had purchased the unit off of Facebook Marketplace for about $18,000, but the police repoed the unit, and we were able to actually recover that day. So, we're very fortunate for that, but I know that's not always the case. So hopefully with the ERG, we can help prevent a lot of these situations from coming up in the future. Now I want to introduce ARA CEO Tony Conant to help explain what ARA is doing to help member businesses like ours prevent equipment theft, so we have fewer theft stories in the future. Tony?
All right. Thanks, Sean. The purpose of doing this here today is to show people what theft looks like firsthand. So we're standing in front of about 360 pieces of rental equipment, and that's what gets stolen from rental stores across the country every month. So think about that, 15 pieces a day, 350 pieces every month disappears from a store, from a job site, and we generally don't get it back. How did we get here? Well, a lot of this happened post-COVID. So to put it in perspective, pre-COVID, we would see about half the theft that we see today. And after hearing a lot of stories like Sean's, I travel across the country, I talk to rental store operators every week generally, this has become the single biggest issue for them, for our industry. It used to be workforce, it used to be equipment availability, now it's equipment theft. So after hearing a lot of these stories, we started thinking about a program, a holistic program that we could put together to help address equipment theft. We launched Equipment Rental Guard at the show this year in February to show members what we can do if we work together to prevent this theft from happening every day. In March, we launched the Renter Red Flag training through Rental U and the Text Alert Network to help operators support each other with real-time suspicious renter alerts. These are the two easiest ways we can prevent theft from happening in the first place. Training our counter staff on what to look for, and then communicating out to other people in your network when you run across somebody that you think is up to no good. So theft, being the biggest part of what's going on in our industry today, we're declaring April as Rental Theft Awareness Month. Why do we select April? Because it's right before everybody gets really busy, right? Contractors, homeowners all start thinking about the projects they have to get done over the summer. So this is when the equipment activity really ramps up for folks. And through our ARA insurance reporting, we know that 70% of reported equipment theft happens between April and November every year. So far, we're seeing really good traction with this program. But by the end of the month, we want to make sure that every ARA member has an ERG flag, like the red one in front of me, hanging in their store. We want your employees trained, and we want everybody signed up for the text alerts. Why wouldn't you want to know when there's suspicious activity in your area? If you're not sending your folks through our Equipment Rental Guard training, you're taking a 5-figure risk every day. It's that simple. Every ARA location will be mailed a red flag like the one you see in front of you, and we're asking that you help call attention to Equipment Theft Awareness Month by hanging this flag in your window. The next thing you need to do is visit the equipmentrentalguard.org website and make sure that you're using every resource available to you. If you're in the audience today, you're not going to leave without getting the VIP treatment. We're going to help you get signed up while you're here if you're not already signed up. Training courses, the simplest thing you can do. These are 15-minute courses to prepare your staff to prevent theft and make sure that your store isn't an easy target for criminals. The training is a must for every single person that interacts with customers. Theft alerts. I know you always have your phones on you, and it literally takes 2 minutes to sign up for the text alert program. This is the easiest way to save your store from a missing skid loader. Get notified when there's suspicious activity in your area. The only way this works is when we all participate. And Vouched. ARA has partnered with Vouched so our members can verify the identity of renters in real time when they're in your store. Vouched is offering a free trial to all your members, and you'll see that shortly. We know the equipment rental industry is a target for theft, and we have to do everything we can to prevent it from happening. Our members are the most collaborative people I know, and the success of this program relies on everybody doing their part. Now I want to introduce Scott McGregor from Ritchie Brothers to explain what's driving the increase in equipment theft and what they're seeing at their Ritchie Brothers locations. Scott?
Thank you very much, Tony. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ritchie Brothers. Thank you all for coming to this very important conference here. As Tony said, equipment theft is rampant and is impacting businesses everywhere in the marketplace. So what's driving the increase? Rental equipment often holds high value, especially construction equipment, with individual pieces ranging from thousands of dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars. This resale value makes rental equipment a target for thieves at rental stores and at job sites. Rental equipment is frequently used on multiple job sites where security can be very difficult to maintain.
These sites often have high volumes of personnel and activity, making it challenging to monitor equipment closely. During off hours and periods of low activity, rental equipment is particularly vulnerable to theft. The constant movement of machinery between locations further complicates tracking and recovery efforts. One of the biggest challenges in recovering stolen equipment is the lack of a standardized registration system. Unlike automobiles, rental equipment does not have a universally mandated registration system or a centralized database of tracking ownership and theft across jurisdictions. This lack of a uniform tracking system makes it difficult to trace stolen equipment and hinders recovery efforts. Stealing rental equipment is often low-risk, high-reward crime. Thieves frequently escape detection, even when caught. The consequences are usually minimal. The lack of strict penalties encourages the continuation of these thefts, creating an ongoing challenge for rental companies trying to protect their valuable assets. The theft of rental equipment doesn't just result in lost assets. It also results in increased insurance premium and forces companies to invest in additional security measures. These added costs can significantly impact a rental company's bottom line, making theft prevention a critical priority. At Ritchie Brothers, we are fully invested in making sure equipment coming to us only comes from legitimate sellers. We have systems in place to ensure that the equipment coming to us is from the rightful owner, and we track it closely throughout our marketplaces. We are also very diligent about making sure that equipment is sold only through our marketplaces. Believe it or not, we've had cases recently where a buyer comes into this location to look at a piece of equipment listed for sale on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. We're grateful you are all here to help combat this problem. Now I'm going to bring up Zach Johnson, the director of the Tri-County Auto Theft Task Force. Thank you all.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you all for being here today. I'm Zach Johnson. I'm the director of the Tri-County Auto Theft Task Force. It's encouraging to see all you business owners and staff here that are being productive to try and prevent crime from happening at the area. Has put together a program to help you guys do that. Partnering with your local law enforcement agencies is another tool in your belt to prevent crime. As a task force, part of our mission is to educate the general public, businesses, on what proactive measures they can take to put into place to help prevent the theft of your property. We also educate law enforcement side of it as well on what is considered theft on your guys' end. I'm sure that many of you heard many cases where you've had a police officer come and they tell you it's a civil issue and there's not much the police are going to do for you. That's not the case. There are laws in Illinois that will protect you from that. 720 ILCS 5/6-3 B-Boy is what covers you guys as far as the theft of services, the theft of your equipment. So if you have any questions regarding any of that, you may contact us. I'll give you our phone number for Tri-County. It's 815-724-4677. We operate in Will, Grundy, Kankakee, Iroquois, and Kendall counties. I would also recommend checking your state laws as far as theft by conversion. Like I said, in Illinois, we do have a law that protects you from that. Any equipment or personal property rented or leased that exceeds $500 in value. If the agreement date for the return property is passed, you may send a demand letter via certified mail to the most recent address that you guys have on file for the renter or the leasee. If it's not returned within those 3 days, there's no reason why the police shouldn't be able to take a report for you at that point in time. If you have discovered that the renter or leasee used fraudulent identification, you don't have to worry about the demand letters. There's nothing else you need to do. You can present that to the police, and there should be a report taken at that time because they've obviously got it fraudulently. We're also here if your equipment goes stolen. So if there is a need that it happens, best way to do it is to make sure that you have all the proper paperwork. We've had some issues where we've seen cases like this where there's a contract extension, and the contract extension doesn't abide by that, or there just keeps on going, you keep on billing their credit card, it might say prosecution side of it wants a more accurate, more detailed contract in hand. So if you do renew those contracts, please make sure that there is something that you would do to show that it's been extended. Provide all the information for the person that's leased it. Try to obtain any color copies, please, of their driver's license. That's the best thing. And even if they're using a fraudulent ID, we can try and use that through facial recognition to maybe try and figure out who that person is and use the fake identification. Copies of the demand letter that you sent, receipt that to show that you sent it certified, confirmation that it was delivered or denied at the address that you sent it to, and all the proper information for what your property, your missing property is. And then if there's any GPS coordinates and if you have any current, location on it, at that point. Also later today, I'll be here to talk to the group about what we're seeing specifically as Tri-County auto theft. And we know that this continues to be a huge problem throughout the country, and we're happy to see a group like you guys together that are committed to stopping the theft the best we can. Thank you.
All right. Well, hey, thank you very much, Zach, and thanks to Sean, Tony, and Scott for giving us your insights into the 9-figure issue that equipment theft is in the rental industry and what ARA is doing to help members work together to address the issue. Equipment Theft Awareness Month brings our theft issue to the forefront of the conversation in the rental industry. But it's only the start. Equipment Rental Guard will give you the training and the tools to protect your equipment and your business, but only if you use them. Thank you all for joining us today to tell everyone about this ugly issue called equipment rental theft.